Just a heads up, this show is going to be really, really crappy. Whether it's a peek inside San Angelo's dog shelter or a peek inside a unit inside of public housing, you know we'll get to the bottom of the smell. I'm Joe Hyde, and this is Live. We'll get to the really crappy news in a second, but first, the Taste of San Angelo for 2022 will be held at the First Community Spur Arena Tuesday night, starting at 6:30 p.m. Over 40 San Angelo local restaurants will be serving up the best of their menu fare, including beverages. Tickets are just $30 for adults and $10 for kids under 12 for all you can eat. All those tickets are available at Fuentes Downtown Cafe at the center of historic downtown San Angelo at the corner of Chadburn and Beauregard. Tickets are also available at the door. We'll see you Tuesday at the Taste of San Angelo. Earlier in the week, we told you about the abuse of a 3-month-old child, allegedly by Samuel Jeter. A search warrant was issued and executed at the residence on the 2900 block of JFK Drive where the alleged abuse occurred. During the search, police discovered the home was infested with cockroaches and had feces smeared all over the walls. A small 8 to 10 week old puppy named Dusty was found. The poor pup had half the hair missing from his tail. The lack of dog feces led officers to believe the feces on the wall were human. What is more, the smeared feces had little handprints in it. When Jeter was asked, he allegedly told officers that they fed the dog table scraps and they had the dog for just 2 weeks. Jalen Deanda and Eli Sarsosa were arrested and charged with cruelty to non-livestock animals on September 6th and were released yesterday on bond. For more on this story, check out sanangelolive.com. The crisis at the animal shelter spilled over into the city council meeting on Thursday morning. Most recently, our animal shelter here in San Angelo was forced to shut down following what city officials claimed was a cockroach infestation. Leaked photos from inside the shelter show that there were bigger issues than just the bugs. Just a heads up, the photos we're about to show you are really gross. So if you have a weak stomach, look away. In these photos, you can see a number of dogs practically living in their own filth. This is not just one photo either. This is just a small sampling of the photos in a viral post made on Facebook. One person who vouched that the photos were in fact true was Michelle Zerbeck, director of local adoption agency Cassie's Place. She told the council of a heartbreaking scene. Let's watch.
Hello, good morning. My name is Michelle Zerbeck and I'm the director of Cassie's Place Animal Rescue. I'm sorry, this is a little doom and gloom compared to the awesome Keeping San Angelo Beautiful, but it does fall in line with that as well. Part of Keeping San Angelo Beautiful would fall in line with our pet overpopulation. Over the past week, there's been a lot of critical things happening at the shelter. Pictures that have circulated that showed the situation that was taking place in the shelter. They were not altered or inaccurate. I walked the shelter twice last week and it was heartbreaking. We have a 2.5-acre facility. We house animals every day. I understand the hardships it takes to take care of animals on a daily basis, keep staff on track, have proper vetting and cleaning processes. I think that this is a huge turning point for the city and the shelter and the animal care that we can provide in our community as well as representatives of our city. I believe that there is an unhealthy relationship, an unhealthy codependent relationship, utilizing only one nonprofit to maintain the adoptions out there. There have been cases that I have been told about or that I am aware of that I think need to be handled. And, you know, when you have, say, a moldy fruit in a basket, you don't remove just the moldy fruit, just the one. You remove multiple, and you may remove the whole basket. There are people out there with Concha Valley Paws, with the shelter, that have extremely compassionate hearts, and they're doing their very best. But I think that it's time to recognize the ones that need some change.
And Cassie's Place was not the only agency that was upset about the current conditions. A board member for another pet-friendly nonprofit organization called the Concho Valley Paws, her name was Cindy Flores, told the council how they were told by the city-run animal shelter employees that their help was not needed either. City Manager Daniel Valenzuela.
Changes that really need to happen and some dialogue. PAWS has offered several solutions to the city, like building kennels so that the dogs could move out to those while that row is being cleaned. We were not taken up on those offers. Multiple offers have been made that nobody's taken us up on, and we were going to pay for it. Spay neuter needs to be enforced. It is not being enforced like it should. The number of citations given to the number of animals being redeemed monthly is a huge difference. I myself experienced a situation the other day where I picked up a dog that was way more than I could handle, and that's a lot. He was very strong, and I went to turn him into the shelter, and I was told that because of the Good Samaritan program that they're doing, that I would need to keep him for 3 days before I could turn him in. I didn't have a safe place to keep him, and I don't think that is necessarily a good policy. If somebody can't keep it and they are picking up an animal to put him somewhere safe, what I was told is that one, I shouldn't have picked him up, or two, that I could take him and put him back where I found him, which was on the street. The volunteers being pulled was not done by PAWS. That was done by the manager of the shelter. Of pictures supposedly that were being taken. That day, the pictures that were being taken were dogs that were available for adoption and not bad pictures. And so it was that we had a lot of volunteers lined up to walk dogs, and we were told we could not utilize them.
And City Manager Daniel Valenzuela claims that they have a fix to the solution. What does that mean, fix to the solution? They have a fix to the problem that they'll be sharing with the public very soon. One thing that many fear, however, is their plan involves what he calls destroying dogs.
We've heard the calls, the comments, the emails, the text messages, phone calls, visits from city council members. But prior to that, of course, we definitely had been working on a plan. One of the objectives initially was to create a no-kill shelter. The problem with a no-kill shelter, when enough dogs aren't adopted out, you get overpopulated. We've had it to where we're calling it a no-kill. We just don't have the resources, and I know that Morgan, her heart's in the right place. She doesn't want to destroy any of the animals. I sure don't want to do that either. But we do want to make sure that we maintain the facility at capacity or below capacity, actually, so those dogs running loose out there have a place to actually go. But regardless, there is a plan in place that will be shared with the community, with the council members, and we will be implementing and moving forward. I do like the idea of having as many volunteers as possible to assist, because we don't want to destroy those animals. We want to make sure that if there's an opportunity to adopt them out, let's do that. So we hear you. We understand where you're coming from. We are working on the plan, and again, we'll be presenting that plan and also talking with some of y'all to ensure that we get your thoughts and opinions on what we're doing as well.
And now, on to some good news. The price of gasoline has dropped below $3 a gallon for the first time this summer. At Murphy USA in front of the Walmart on Sherwood Way, gas is listed at $2.98 per gallon. At the Sam's Club across the street, gas is $2.93. According to GasBuddy.com, the average cost of gas is $3.05 in San Angelo. Across the state, gas prices seem to be dropping as well. The average as a whole is $3.18 statewide. One of the best events that San Angelo holds every year is on Tuesday. That's right, the Taste of San Angelo is back and better than ever after COVID. This year there will be 40 restaurants from across town, including the Angry Cactus, Fuentes Downtown Cafe, Western Sky, and many more. Tickets are currently on sale. To purchase them, go to sanangelo.com and click on one of the banner ads, or visit their event page. The event page is under events and on sanangelo.com, or visit the Western Sky or Fuentes Downtown San Angelo. They have the tickets on sale there. But before we get to Tuesday, we can't forget about Friday night because this is, after all, San Angelo Live. This Friday will be one for the history books as the Wall Hawks will be renaming their stadium after former Hawk, Angelo State Ram, and New England Patriot pro ball player Clayton Wassoon. James Bellini of Cover One Team here has more about that and a close look at the 2022 Wall Hawks football team. He'll be up next, right after this.
We got a couple things going down east of San Angelo this Friday when the Wall Hawks take on the Jim Ned Indians. Not only is this one of the better matchups, the Hawks are also renaming their stadium after Clayton Wassoon. Wassoon was killed in a car crash earlier this year. He started his playing career for the Hawks and then went on to play college ball right here for the ASU Rams. That was before getting drafted by the New England Patriots in the 3rd round. Yes, those Patriots. Had a couple good football players come out of there. But we have an entire half of football to get to before that happens. After practice yesterday, Coach Guy spoke to me about the Cisco game. He said they're a good football team and we just couldn't get into situations that we wanted. For example, instead of 2nd and 5, it was 2nd and 10. He also believed the weather did not affect the outcome of the game. And that's just some adversity, like injuries. Wall and Jim Ned both have guys dealing with different ailments, but one of the coaches at Wall said they'll all come back for this game. And that should signal to everybody that this game means something for these two teams, and both teams hate to lose. Joking aside, this is a huge game with two teams that could meet up in the playoffs this season. Coach Guy has a ton of respect for Coach Fanning and everything he's done with the Jim Ned program. But when asked how he planned on attacking the Indians, Guy said, "We're going to run right at them." Wall is averaging 377 rushing yards per game, so why fix something that isn't broken? Coach Guy also told me they aren't looking past Jim Ned. They might be 0-2, but they've lost two pretty good football teams. In week 1, Jim Ned lost to Hawley, who played at AT&T Stadium last year. And in week 2, they lost to Holiday, who made it 4 rounds deep before losing to Gunter before, well, you guessed it, they played at State too. This is going to be one of the better matchups of the season, and it's being played out in Wall. So if you have nothing going on Friday night, this is the game to be at. Cover One will be there, and we'll be updating everyone with highlights, analysis, and coverage only on SanAngeloLive.com.
When it comes to unique pieces you can't find anywhere else, Kano's Diamonds and Coins is your one-stop shop. With over 24 years in the diamond and coin industry, Kano's Diamonds and Coins is West Texas's choice for diamonds, jewelry, coins, silver, and gold. Owner Bill Kano stands by his work and offers free consultations, including estate jewelry. Don't just trust anyone with your valuables. Come see the staff at Kano's at 1016 West Beauregard in San Angelo. Is now become recurring. We have you on about once a month just to keep it real with the people. It's Charlotte Anderson from Keep San Angelo Beautiful. Charlotte, how are you doing today?
I'm great today. It's good to be with you.
You've had a pretty busy day so far. You started your morning at the city council meeting, and we talked about you talked about just what you guys been doing, and that was the highway cleanup. Give me a little bit of a spiel on how that went.
So city council was real exciting. We just wanted to get a little recognition for Miss Jupiter and her hard work with her team. I know when your story broke, they were just very insistent in jumping right on top of that and making sure that they had an impact and made a difference in the community. So I'm really proud of Morgan, Angelo State University, Greek Life. They rocked it. They actually had between 80 and 90 people in the morning.
That's what I was going to say. Like it didn't seem like a very small group. There was quite a few kids out there.
And Matt, that was the first week back at college. So if you can imagine, I'm sure half of them didn't sleep.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. There was a lot of headaches, but at the same time, it was fine. They're still picking up trash.
We provided granola bars, juice, fruit. We had tons of water, so we really got them started off in the right direction, but they had just great results.
And how much trash did you guys pick up?
So they had between 80 and 90 students, over 240 volunteer hours. That is a $6,849 value to the city in free labor.
Right.
And people don't realize those volunteer hours add up.
Yes,
so they
absolutely.
really do. But 13 different organizations. They had 90 bags of trash, over 1,350 pounds.
Dang, 1,300 pounds of trash in Angelo, and that's on
That's on your loop that got picked up. So.
And it wasn't a very big area either.
Right. So how I know at the beginning of it, they kind of were like, we're going to go from Foster Road to TLCA. And I'm thinking, guys, y'all are going to need a few thousand people out there because that's a very big stretch of land. But how far did they end up getting
I believe
area?
So they started at Foster, and I think they made it up to Trinity Lutheran Church. So it did get very hot very quickly, and we always suggest to start as early as possible. The problem, your first weekend back at Angelo State University. So they did select the time that they wanted to be available, and they picked 9:30. By the time we had event check-in, it was about 10 o'clock. Going out at 11, we were already in the 90s on the temperature. So you're like wanting that water break pretty quick in there. But they did.
But they powered through.
Oh, they did. Amazing results, and just really proud of their group. So
awesome. Okay, and then just another thing that y'all had going on. You left the city council meeting, and then you went to a lunch to do some more stuff with Angelo State students.
Yes.
Kind of talk about that event. It was more of like a place where you wanted to get other people's opinions about
Absolutely.
how to fix the trash problem in San Angelo.
So we have a program called A Voice at the Table, and we do a luncheon quarterly, and it's an opportunity for people to bring their ideas, to have input on our activities and events. It's collaborative. We want to know what everybody thinks about trash. So not just our board of directors, not just our team, but we want the students involved. A lot of them are our volunteers and give us a lot of time at all of our different events. So we want to make sure that we're inclusive, that we don't have barriers to participation, that people know that our opportunities for team building, service hours, family-friendly, fun events, they're open to everybody. So we give them a little update on Keep San Angelo Beautiful, so they learn about our mission to create awareness and maintain clean, green, beautiful spaces through art, science, and education. We go through all of our programming, our events and activities. We give them up-to-date information on, for example, we've planted over 400 trees in the city. And we talk about the tire collection. So over 15,000 tires have been taken for recycling out of the community. It just gives them an overview of our organization, and we hope that they become volunteers. We've actually gotten board members on our board from those meetings, and donors as well. So good collaborative program.
Well, because it is everyone's job. It's not just this group's or this group's or it's. I mean, trash is on everybody. This is if you don't pick up your trash, the next person's going to have to. So and when you move into Angelo State, even if I moved here from out of town, so the very first thing that I did when I got here was I got to find a group, I got to find an organization, I got to find something where I'm not just alone out here. And I think a lot of college students at Angelo State or Howard College or anything like that, even just young people, I think look for that way to find a group. So for that, having that outlet and it being a good cause.
Absolutely, and it's funny that you mentioned that. Savannah is a young lady from Goodfellow Air Force Base, and she reached out to me, I think week before last, about working on some service hours. And so she's been coming by for a couple of hours every day to help with some of our projects. And, again, what you said is true. It's for everybody, and it's everybody's responsibility. And we just hope that by sharing that information with the community, that we all have an opportunity to give back. People want to give back. They want to help organizations. They want to wrap their arms around their city. They want to be involved in fulfilling and rewarding
Nobody
activities.
wants to see the trash.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, that's what it all boils down to. We got one more thing we want to talk about here, and that is this right here. You brought a prop with you today.
Yes.
And this is, we talked about it a little bit last time. You guys have your own coffee. This is it right here.
Yes.
Explain it to them.
So we're real excited about our coffee, and we're very proud of it. We went to Cody Coffee, and we asked them if we could have a private label. And we told them we wanted it to taste like this and smell like this and look like this. And how could we get that in a bag? So we did a little taste testing, and we finally found something that we really enjoyed. And they roast it, they blend it, they package it for us. We do label it. So we'd like to say that our coffee is the only coffee in San Angelo that changes the landscape.
Okay, there you go.
Your donation goes to our activities and events, and we sure appreciate that. And this is a really good tool when we have drive-through events. So our tire events, our hazardous waste, people like to give a donation. So on a donation for this, it's $15.99. Then you get 16 ounces of coffee, and it's fabulous. And then on the back, we have tips for recycling.
Perfect.
So,
so you can recycle the bag.
And contact information.
There you go.
We want you to brew sustainably. We want you to try not to use those single-use pods or use a reusable pod.
Right.
You want to compost your grounds. You want to use the filter that comes with your coffee machines. A lot of coffee machines have the built-in filters as well. So we're just real proud of it.
Where can we get that?
So we're at 69 North Chapman, and you can come by our office anytime, or Cowboy Up Chocolates has it on Concho Street. So you can stop by Cowboy Up Chocolates and get you a bag.
And that's right there off the river, so you guys go find it. I could probably point it out over here. I think
You probably could.
It's on the other side.
But the coffee is just fabulous. It's your favorite in San Angelo, and you're really going to enjoy it. And again, we're just really proud to do this. We introduced it at Christmas at Old Fort Concho last year. Probably sold maybe 600, 700
Probably going to have it
bags.
back this year?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Charlotte, we really appreciate you coming by. We always love having you on because you're just so happy to be here, and you have all the good news. You never bring sad news. It's always good news. We're just want to clean up the city. And guys, remember, it's your job to clean up the city. So remember, pick up the trash, get the trash out of the back of your truck, and recycle.
That's right. October the 8th is our fall sweep. So send me an email and register your team. No team is too small. This is perfect. It's family friendly. It's pet friendly. It's team building.
You can win some cool prizes.
Absolutely.
The most interesting piece of trash that you could find.
Absolutely. The tough team, whoever brings back the most trash, and then, of course, the best spirit. So Blue Cross Blue Shields, great winners. We had great teams last year. We're going to have great teams this year. We want to break our record and go over 200 participants. Again, that's October 8th. You can register your team at charlotte.anderson@cosatx.us. Follow us on Facebook to stay up to date on all our events and activities.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, Charlotte, it's been fun. We'll catch up again soon.
That sounds good.
Perfect. Back to you guys.
Hey folks, Todd Price from Jim Bass Ford. Have you noticed the last couple of years cars and trucks have been overpriced? Well, not anymore. At Jim Bass, we have a slew of F-150s priced around $4,000 off MSRP. And my Uncle Perk used to tell me, Todd, opportunities are never lost. Somebody takes the ones you miss. Don't y'all miss this one. Jim Bass Ford, Houston Hart and Hardin Road, or 24/7 at bassbunch.com.
Well, that's the news for this Thursday, and I am Joe Hyde. Thank you for joining us. But before we leave, this is the totally unscripted section. This is why the three people that made it through the interview want to watch. On Saturday night, if you enjoy watching this news program, our own Matt Trammell is going to be playing the role of the mayor of Sweetwater.
No.
Yeah, ML Mertz. I thought you were doing the mayor of Sweetwater. All right, he's doing ML Mertz. Now, ML Mertz is what Mertzon's named after, right? ML Mertz. And he is going to be at the Railway Museum for their Stillwell thing. You know, Arthur Stillwell was the dreamer who thought we could build a rail line from the Midwest all the way down to Mexico, the Mexican ports on the Pacific, which is already about to become a reality now with the new rail port and with the bridge down there by Lajitas. But anyway, Trammell is going to be ML Mertz during this play kind of thing. So you can go from tonight all the way up through Saturday, but Saturday is the night to do it. And if you want to get discounted tickets, Matt Trammell says that since he is in the play, he can get you group rates. So message us on sangelolive.com or message us on the Facebook, Sangelo Live Facebook, and ask for Trammell, and Trammell will now have to work it to get you the group rates for that. Anyway, this news starts at 4 o'clock or thereabouts, and it's streamed live on Facebook, YouTube, San Angelo Live, and Twitter. We hope to see you every weekday at 4 p.m. for San Angelo Live TV News. I'm Joe Hyde, and have a great day.